Viewers and subscribers, welcome to another edition of the Coach's Desk, and with your host, Kevion Minze. And we have in studio today, Anthony Witter out of New Jersey, and he'll be sharing a little bit with us on football, and not the football that we know as soccer, but it's the NFL type of football. So we're going to get into that. But before we jump right into that, I'm just encouraging you to subscribe. For those who are new to this channel, just subscribe to the channel. And if you have any comment, you can put it down below in the comment section. And we have discussions on this very same video. All right. Anthony Witter, welcome to the Coach's Desk.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Because, you know, he's a Jamaican. But I don't want to tell you about him. I want Anthony to tell us who he is.
Well, I am a born Jamaican. I've been in the US for about, how old am I now? About 26 years. I came here as a 10-year-old from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. And so far in the US, I've accomplished a lot of things, and I've been able to help other individuals accomplish a lot of things as well, both in the US and more currently in our country in Jamaica. So I went to a Bridgeton High School in New Jersey, and I transitioned from high school and went to Rowan University, where I played football and ran track and field. I was a decathlete. And from there, I became an educator. I've been teaching now for almost 12 years. And yeah, throughout my journey, I've been able to accomplish a lot, both personally and with assisting others with their growth.
Awesome, man. That's good when you can give back to the younger generation. Anthony, we understand that you have a GoFundMe account that you have created to assist two talented Jamaicans to get involved in football. Could you guide us through that?
So a few years ago, about 3 years ago now, I went back home to Jamaica, and I was sitting with my father in the backyard in St. Elizabeth, and just looking into the mountains and stuff. And just I remember when I first went back to Jamaica after being in the United States. I was here for 10 years. I came here in '94, and then I went back to Jamaica in 2004. And I had took a semester off of school, and I just wanted to go home and just regroup and get my mind right. I wasn't doing too well in college at the time, and just trying to figure out what's my next move and what direction I wanted to go in. And I spent 3 months back in Jamaica, and looking into those same mountains in St. Elizabeth, and just refocusing myself. So about 3 years ago, when I went back home, I did the same thing. I went outside on the back porch, I sat, looked into the mountains, you know, spoke to God and so on and so forth, and kind of regrouped and got my mind into thinking, well, how can I interject myself into the country of Jamaica again, and help young men in the country to be able to develop and get opportunities to go to school and basically see what their true potential is. So I decided I wanted to start doing, because I played football, and I know track and field is very big in Jamaica, and there's not a lot of non-traditional sports that's in the country. So I wanted to do some football clinics and some camps and see how kids take on to the game of American football. So initially I did like something I'd done at Cheapside Ball Field in St. Elizabeth, where I pretty much invited all the kids out in the community to come out and train with me for about a week. And then we had like a flag football game at the end of the week. And the parents had a really good time watching their kids play this new sport. You know, it was a lot of fun. We ate some food and we had a good time. And so that was basically the introduction of it. So the following 2 years after, I have connected with individuals like Jerome Harriet, and also an individual from the Touchdown Project as well, and try to figure out ways of bringing more kids together and evolving these camps and these programs that they had started in Jamaica with regards to football. So last year, I did a camp down there in at Monroe High School, and some of the guys from the different teams that they had started down in Jamaica came to the camp, and I was able to teach them about, tackling and some of the different skills and stuff like that associated with the game. And then my goal was to also identify a couple of kids that I thought had great potential, which there was a lot of them. But I identified two in particular, Tajon White and Orville Mathis. And I had these young men come up. They stayed with me for about 3 months in my house, and we trained and developed every day for 3 months. And they had the opportunity in November this past November to go to what is called an unsigned senior combine. So I trained them. They were able to go to this combine and in front of college coaches and stuff in the United States and show what talent they have. And they did really, really well. A lot of these colleges were surprised. I had them purposely put on the registration paperwork Team Jamaica. So when these college coaches were seeing these guys competing and running the 40 and catching the balls and doing all this type of stuff, they're asking, well, who's Team Jamaica? And was asking more information about where these kids are from. So I explained to them that they're actually from Jamaica, and we've been developing football in the country. And they were really, really excited about the potential that these guys had. So the guys went back home in January, and they've been home, continuing to train. And I actually was in Jamaica. I almost got stuck down there actually, because I went home in early March.
Oh.
And was working with the guys, and the whole Corona thing hit. And the country was shut down for a while. I was able to leave, but obviously no one could have come into the country, so it was kind of tricky. But a lot of people thought I was crazy for even attempting to go down there. But for me, it was all about their development and their continued growth. And the guys are very passionate about what they do. So the GoFundMe that I created recently was because they haven't been accepted to Myrtle Beach Prep.
Okay.
Which is a football prep academy, which will allow them to get the film that they need, so that the bigger universities could see them and give them the opportunities that some of them actually want to give them already, but a lot of the schools, they don't want to distribute out the money for these guys because they don't know what they can do on an actual
football. They see something.
Yeah, so they've seen their skills, they know their skill set, but they haven't seen them in playing actual games.
Yeah.
So they're kind of skeptical about offering these guys money.
But you did tracks, right? As well as football. But what was so much the love in this game, football, that you'd have come to Jamaica, a country? I know you mentioned about non-traditional sports, but Jamaicans some don't even understand the game. So why did you choose to bring this technical game, this game that is so hard to comprehend? Why did you bring this one?
Well, when I came here to America, my mom got really ill, and we lived in we come to America thinking everything is gonna be peaches and cream, right? Yeah. And you come here and you really see the perspective of what America really is, and if you don't have it, you don't have it, just like any other country. My mom got really ill, so she was never able to work, and athletics saved my life pretty much. We lived in the projects. I've seen a lot of bad stuff, both here and even back when I lived in Kingston in Jamaica. But when I was able to identify, when I got to high school, I was introduced to American football, and because of my aggressiveness and my ability to take heed to certain situations, the game actually allowed me to release a lot of tension, to release a lot of anger, to release a lot of frustration, a lot of things that I was dealing with as a young man and not having control of. I was able to then distribute within this game. One, the game is a team sport. You know, track and field can be very much a team sport, but it's also an individual sport. You can separate yourself.
Because you get your own lane.
Get your own lane,
run up
and you score your own points at the end of the day. So with the game of football, everyone has to relate with one another. Everyone has to connect together. The whole unit have to move in one accord, and it teaches a lot of discipline. It teaches you how to be resilient, how to have grit, how to have perseverance. And it's a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of young men use this game to be able to let out things that they may want to let out in other ways, but it's can be let out in a positive way. And so in looking at that and looking at the percentage of young men in Jamaica compared to young women in Jamaica that are going to college.
Right.
It was an
opportunity.
It was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. I knew what the sport did for me.
Yeah.
And I knew, and like I said, I as well, as I think track and field is the fundamental sport for every other sport, point blank period. And being an athlete, I was able to, I very much so understand that because I've done pretty much every track and field event there is, from the shot put to the javelin to the 100, the 1500, I've done it. Long jump, I've done it. Hurdles, I've done it. So, and I've done it at the college level. So I know that I understand the demographics of track and field, but I know that in Jamaica, a lot of kids get left out because they're not the top guy. And one of the cool things about football as well is that it attracts every type of kid. Whereas in track and field, you know, and especially like Jamaican football or soccer and cricket and stuff, it's kind of like, those are like club sports. And they're only identified with a certain body type. Even a game like basketball is very, very tough to excel unless you look a certain way, you're a certain height, or you're a certain, you know, whereas the game
height has to match the athleticism. So
right, and then the skill set on top of it, and then you have you have 5 guys on the field. Whereas in American football, you have a team of 60 guys, 50 guys.
It's
you know
diverse.
What I mean? It's diverse, and then you have guys that's 350 pounds, and you got guys that's 160 pounds.
So there's no discrimination. In terms of your weight, structure.
Exactly. Every position has an opportunity. Every size, every weight, has an opportunity to excel. So that's what I love.
I get your point on that. Definitely, I see. So you basically thought outside of the box in terms of getting it there. But let me ask you this: who coordinates your training? Because you said sometimes you have to come back and forth. Who coordinates your training here when you're not here?
So because I'm an educator and I have a bachelor's degree in exercise science and I have a master's degree in sports administration. So, and I have my own training company, which is EX3, the shirt that I'm wearing. So because I've been developing athletes and such for such a long time, I've developed ways of how to basically groom my athletes both physically and mentally to basically train themselves.
Okay, cool.
When I was in college, my 3rd year, when I started doing the decathlon, my college coach died from cancer. And so this is what actually geared me towards creating EX3, because I had to train myself for 2 years.
Okay.
They had nobody to train me, so I had to train myself in all these different events. And I worked with the guys when they were here. I not only worked with them physically to develop their bodies and change their look, but I also developed them mentally to understand what they need to do to prepare themselves and continue to develop. Because I'm not in Jamaica right now, Like I said, I coordinate with Jerome Harriet, who is actually in Jamaica, and he runs the Jamaican National Tackle Football Association in Jamaica.
Okay.
And we've been working hand in hand in developing the tackle component, because at the end of the day, these colleges want to see that these kids can actually play tackle football before they offer them any money.
Okay.
And the guys, I talk to the guys all the time on Zoom, and you know, I track their workouts. I try to come home twice a year so that I can work with them. Like I said, I was there in March. I was there for a whole month, and we went out and trained almost every day. So I just try to coordinate things the way that I can. I don't have a whole bunch of money or nothing like that, but this stuff is so precious to me, and I see the potential and the love that these guys are getting for the sport now with all the social media. We recently this year had, I think, 3 or 4 guys that was Jamaican born get drafted in the NFL this year. Yeah. But these 2 guys would be the first guys from Jamaica to graduate
from Jamaica.
From a high school in Jamaica to get a college scholarship.
That's awesome. And I really admire your passion, because some persons would have gone for the traditional sports where there's a lot of clout to. So you chose something that will actually develop youngsters who have disabilities when it comes on to behavioral issues. So that's a good look. That's a good look. And I really, really appreciate your passion on that. Now, do you see where this thing can expand in Jamaica? And there would be basically an academy coming out of Jamaica where these youngsters can get a part of, and they can just know that they're going to be given a scholarship because of their athletic prowess in that sport.
Absolutely. And the reason why, the key thing about Jamaica is that majority of the kids, you know how our education system in Jamaica is very, very profound and is very important to a lot of the parents and a lot of the kids.
Right.
And because of that, the coaches up here, they are ecstatic because they don't have to worry about that component per se.
Right.
Because the education is serious. So they're not only getting kids that are athletically inclined, but they're getting kids that are academically inclined and that can get the job done. I definitely see, and with working with the Jamaican National Tackle Football Association, we're working on developing even a prep program in Jamaica. Cool. So that kids in Jamaica wouldn't necessarily have to go to like a prep school up here. They could go to the prep school in Jamaica to develop for another year and then transition directly to a 4-year institution.
Awesome.
The goal with these 2 guys, Orville and Tijon, they will be the cornerstone of this whole thing. And once they pop off, basically, it's going to create a domino effect. One, because of all the social media and all the prowess that will be behind it.
Yeah.
I think it would attract a lot of colleges to be able to come to Jamaica and see what these guys can do.
Yeah.
Maybe get more involved in doing camps and stuff, or assisting me in doing camps and stuff in Jamaica, because one of the issues that Jamaica is having is not the kids, because kids are running to come do this American football thing. But it's the coaching aspect. Right. There's not a lot of coaches in Jamaica that's familiar enough with the sport in order to get the guys groomed as quickly as possible.
So the rudiments of the sport is kind of lacking where our coaches are concerned.
Right. And I would love to be an ambassador or someone to be able to come to Jamaica even more and continue this cycle to pump out these kids even faster. But yes, it's definitely something that's going to continue to grow. And I got kids every day messaging me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. They're sending me videos of them doing drills outside. Kids that I don't even know, kids from Jamaica. They're just recording themselves working out and stuff, and they're sending me all this stuff. They just want me to take a look at them and see what they're trying to do themselves to try to better themselves. And it's awesome to see.
That's fantastic, Anthony. And you know, we really have to get you back on this program for a part 2, a follow-up to this, because we want to talk to you when those two guys are up there and they're in school and they're working, they're doing well. We want to get you back on this program. I really admire the passion, and with that dedication that you have, I definitely believe that you have set a platform for an opportunity for more kids, not to just get a scholarship through track and field, through football, through volleyball, but a sport that is not really something that is a part of our culture. So definitely
Right.
you have set the stage, you have set the platform, and like you said, persons are already getting onto your social media handles and they're trying to contact you. So when these two guys get on the big time, I believe that this thing is gonna erupt like a volcano.
Yeah, exactly.
And with your dedication, there's more to come, I believe. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us today. We have a short time, and I definitely will have to continue this interview with you at a later date, because we have some more things that we would want to talk about, but time won't allow us. But before we go, Anthony, any last words?
I just want to thank these young men for giving me the opportunity to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I am looking forward to some wonderful things for Jamaica in the near future. And yeah, I just want, we just want to ask for support. Just stand behind us. Jamaica, stand behind us, and let's get our young people geared in the right direction and facilitate their dream.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the time again. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to have you on our program. It has been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you again. And viewers and subscribers, please remember to comment down below and say what is on your mind when it comes on to American football in Jamaica. Thank you.